Hello everyone, it's me, Sarah, here at the Enosburg Public Library, and welcome to our Saturday story time. Today, I have a very special book. We are going to learn and see how the creation of hip-hop began. This is called When the Beat Was Born, DJ Kool Herc and the Creation of Hip-Hop. This was written by Laban Hill and illustrated by Theodore Taylor III. Let's jump into it. Before there was hip-hop, there was DJ Kool Herc. DJ Kool Herc lived in the Bronx, where there was a lot of fighting, but he didn't want to fight. He wanted to play music. DJ Kool Herc had a new way of spinning records. He played the breaks of songs back to back, so the music, best for dancing, could go on and on. DJ Kool Herc liked to shout out to his friends while he was playing music. Sometimes he made up rhymes about the song he loved, or the breakdancers who had the best moves. This is the story of DJ Kool Herc, the story of how he came to be a DJ, how kids in the neighborhood stopped fighting in order to break dance, and how he invented a new kind of music that would change the world. This is the story of hip-hop. Clive loved music. It didn't matter what kind, whether it was wah-wah scat of jiving trumpet, a sorrowful twang of a sad voice, or the belting boom of gospel singer. Little Clive loved the way the sound thumped and bumped all the way down to his stomach. He loved the way the music made his feet go hip, hip, hop, hippity, hop. Little Clive lived in Kingston, Jamaica. His hero was a DJ named King George, who threw the biggest and baddest house parties in the neighborhood of Somerset Lane. On Saturday nights, everybody who was anybody made their way to Somerset Lane for King George's hot dance parties. Little Clive was too young to go to the parties, so he went to the house when King George and his friends were setting up during the day. They'd arrived pushing a big old handcart stacked with crates of records. Clive had never seen so many records. He imagined himself as a DJ, surrounded by all those records, choosing just the right song to get the party jamming. He saw himself toasting like DJ, talking and singing over the instrumental B-sides of the records. Clive dreamed of everyone's feet going hip, hip, hop, hippity, hop. Little Clive really wanted to be a DJ. When Clive was 13, he joined his mama in New York City. Clive wasn't sure he liked his new neighborhood in the Bronx. It was cold, he had to wear a silly winter hat with ear flaps, and everybody made fun of him. But Clive did find one thing besides music that made him feel like he belonged: sports. He ran track and lifted weights. He played basketball at the neighborhood playground. Soon little Clive was no longer little. He had grown to 6 foot 5 inches tall. He called himself Cool as Clyde, after his favorite basketball player, Walt Clyde Frazier. But the kids on the basketball court took one look at his size and called him Hercules. Clive cut the name short to Herc, and then added Cool to make it just right. Kool Herc. The best part of being big was that he could go with his mama to the neighborhood house parties where he'd listen to the hottest tunes and dance like crazy. Clive loved these parties. They were just like ones he had stood outside in Somerset Lane. One day, Kool Herc's father bought a monster sound system with the giant 6-foot speakers. But when he hooked up the system, instead of really big sound coming from the speakers, a little mumbling sound trickled out. Kool Herc spent days switching the wires, plugging things into other things, until one day the sound was big. Not just like big like Kool Herc, but big with an entire block into the Bronx. Kool Herc and his little sister Cindy rented a rec room in their housing project on Sedgwick Avenue. They hand-wrote invitations telling everybody when and where to get their groove on. They posted cards around the neighborhood. They set up their father's sound system. On the night of the party, everybody who was anybody made their way to Sedgwick Avenue for Kool Herc's hot dance party. That's when Kool Herc became DJ Kool Herc. DJ Kool Herc noticed that dancers danced crazy hard during the breaks in the song, when the lyrics ended and the music bumped and thumped. Herc knew that's what dancers wanted, so he plugged in the 2 turntables instead of 1. He put the same record on both turntables, and he set it up so that He set it up that when one record ended its break, he could flip it over to the turntable and play it again, doing this over and over. He made a 10-second break last for 10, 15, even 20 minutes or more. Herc remembered the way DJs in Jamaica would chant and toast over the music. He started calling out to the names of his friends during his breaks. There goes my mellow Coke Rock in the house. There goes my mellow Clark Kent in the house. There goes my mellow Timmy Tim in the house. And there goes my mellow Mambata in the house. Everybody loved hearing his or her name called over the music. He'd compliment people on their dance moves. He'd talk about the music and send shout-outs. He'd make up little raps like the jump rope rhymes he had heard on the playground. Or he would call, "Hey, Mike on the lights, make like a strobe." And Mike would flip the switch on and off. Over the next year, Herc took his parties to the streets and the parks of Bronx. He plugged in his sound system into the lamppost. They pulled so much power that the street lights dimmed to the perfect lighting for a street party. Kool Herc's music made everybody happy. Even street gangs wanted to dance, not fight. Gangs like the Savage Skulls and the Glory Stompers and the Blue Diamonds, the Black Cats and the Black Spades turned into a breakdancing crews who performed some of the slickest moves. Herc called the coolest dancers break dancers, or b-boys, because they loved to dance the breaks. When Herc would find a really good break, he would shout, "B-boys, go down!" Then the break dancers would cut and jump their gymnastics. Hey, check this out. The top rock, the down rock, the one-handed stand freeze, the turtle, and the suicide. He gathered a crew of friends to rap behind him in his DJing. He invited Coke Rock, a Jamaican friend, to rap. He called him his master of ceremonies, or MC Coke, knew all about toasting the Jamaican DJs. He was the first of Herc's crew of MCs called the Herculoids. Here we introduce them with the rap. You rock and you don't stop, and this is the sounds of DJ Kool Herc, and the sound system you're going to listen to is what we call the Herculoids. Soon, kids from all over New York City came to see DJ Kool Herc, who threw the biggest and baddest parties on Sedgwick Avenue. African Bambaataa, Grandmaster Flash, Jazzy Jeff, and dozens of others all wanted to be DJs just like Kool Herc. There's no story can't be told, there's no horse that can't be rode, and a bull can't be stopped, and a disc we can't rock. Herc, who's the man with the master plan from the land of Gracie Grace? Herc. Herc doesn't just rock the block, he put the hip-hop, hippity-hop into the world's heartbeat. The end. So the creation of hip-hop was, coins the term, in 1974 in the streets of the Bronx. This is amazing. He, so much cool stuff that I can tell you about. Hold on, let me get to it. Hip-hop moves beyond the Bronx into New York City's in 1977. Grandmaster Flash forms the influential rap group The Furious Five in 1979. The Beastie Boys were formed in 1981. And Run DMC releases It's Like That, which is a hit on MTV and the Top 40 radio. Oh, there's so much that from what he started with and what he was just playing around with the turntable and creating all these different beats and all these different sounds, and just to create a whole new genre of music is absolutely insane. And it started from, like, when you think about it, really wasn't that long ago. And back in 1986, the Beastie Boys' hit album Licensed to Ill on Def Jam represents hip-hop becoming fully mainstream from the Beastie Boys. If you don't know the Beastie Boys, we should do some listening and we should do some dancing. I love to dance too. It's so much fun. So that is the story of DJ Kool Herc and his creation of hip-hop. Next, I'm going to have a little craft ready for you guys. Make sure that you come in on Monday through Friday. We have bags ready for you. Hold on one second. So what we are going to do, we are going to make our own vinyl record. You are going to have a blank piece of paper, which Stella decorated for me. You are going to have a coffee filter, and you're going to want to flatten that as much as you can, like so. And then next, you are going to get a crayon or a marker or anything that you want, and we are going to draw a circle around here, like so. And then we are going to color in this part black. And it's going to look just like so. So I kind of made the squiggly lines like that. You could fill it in all the way. I just know, if you guys know what a vinyl record looks like, they have like, it's scratches in the middle, and they create the tunes to the beat. You want to say hello?
Hi.
Hello. Hello. So you're going to have this part, right? And then you are going to grab any color that you want. I'm going to do pink because it's a really pretty color. And we are going to make this record Stella's Greatest Beats 2020. How about that? And then, well, yeah, 2021. Oh my goodness. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a hole right in the middle, right? So I just took my color pencil and made a hole right in the middle. And look at that. You could do it. Oh, so you could do that. Then you're going to get your paper, and we're going to make a hole right there in the middle. And I did the same thing. I used the pencil. But I'm coming up with this other idea than what my instructions say, which is, we're going to put it like this. And then if you could keep that down, you can kind of spin it like a turntable. If there's like an object that you guys have, like maybe even a Q-tip or something.
Unless you have a real one.
Unless you have a real one. And then you could put it here. This tells me to it wants me to glue it onto the paper. So if you do not want to glue it on and you actually want to have your own little turntable, take your whatever you made that you could have a hole with, and maybe like set this down.
Don't.
And then you can turn it.
Please don't make mine a glue table.
I'm not going to. So you just pop it up a little bit. Waka, 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 waka. Those are the best beats I've ever heard.
That's what yours.
So you can have fun, use your imagination, and create your own tunes from this beautiful coffee filter. I hope you guys enjoyed today's book and today's craft. Wicked cool. I love music of all sorts, so it's really awesome to learn about somebody who created something like that has changed the world in so many ways, and people are like
Can you
very
help me?
expressive
My
with
leg is
all
really-
music.
My leg-
What are you doing? You're just doing workouts, guys. So yeah, this is really cool. Oh, and back in 1984, Michael Jackson did the moonwalk at the Grammys, borrowing a b-boy dance elements from the LA Breakers. Anyways, really cool book. If you want to learn more of the history on this, there's this whole timeline and this author's note in the back. So if you want to come grab it, make sure you give us a shout out and we will get this aside for you. Again, thank you all so much for joining me today, and I will see you on Tuesday for our steam.
Bye.
Bye.